All right, folks, this is Dave Wood, and I'm talking to you actually from a hotel room out in Costa Rica. Wanted to welcome everybody out to the webinar today, and those of you who are watching the recording, of course, welcome out as well. If you are watching the recording, I want to encourage you. Hold on, I got to stop this little dumb pop-up from going. We have the webinar is packed, which is cool, of course, because it's a $1,000 product. Hold on a second. Don't show this again. All right, those messages should stop bothering me now. I wanted to welcome you guys out, and I'm excited to do this training series with you, okay? The purpose of this training series is simple. It's to teach you guys how to get to $15,000 a month in commissions in the network marketing industry, regardless of whether it's in Empower Network or whether it's in another company that you choose. The formula is going to apply the same. It might work a little bit easier and faster in Empower Network, but you can take this information, you can actually use this information anywhere. Okay, you can use it anywhere. And so I want to encourage you to do that and encourage you to master these concepts, because when you master not just the information, but when you master the concepts, the beauty is that you can take this with you for the rest of your life. It literally works in everything that you'll ever apply it to equally, okay? And so what we're going to do today is a little bit different. I want to start off, first of all, by just doing a quick income disclosure. I always like to do that because we talk about income all the time. The product name is the 15,000 per month formula, and the government just hammers us to death, especially in this industry, in disclosure. I actually want to encourage everybody on here, whenever you're making any kind of income representation, if you're showing a picture of a check, doesn't matter if the income representation is clear. You want to just be clear to people. Not everybody is going to make money doing this stuff, okay? Now, most of the time, the reason they're not going to make money is because they don't actually take action on the information. They get in and they think, network marketing or direct sales or whatever you want to call it's a Ponzi scheme. They think they're going to get in and their income's just going to increase magically after buying a product, when the reality is, guys, that you've got to work your ass off, excuse me, a little bit, especially in the beginning. If you want to get results in the direct sales and the network marketing industry, you've got to work your ass off, okay? This takes hard work, it takes skill, it takes learning. You're going to make some mistakes. Not everybody's going to make money, and of course, if you're in Empower Network, you can scroll down. You can view the average earnings disclosure on the bottom and the footer on every page of the site. That being said, I'm excited because our average earnings are actually ridiculously awesome, especially if you compare them across the entire niche, all right? So we've got some exciting stuff going there. Now, again, the purpose of this training, to keep things very simple for you, is to teach you specifically how to get to $15,000 a month or more in 90 days or less. And it doesn't matter if you're brand new. It doesn't matter if this is the first time you've ever done direct sales or network marketing in the past. It doesn't matter if you've never succeeded before, if you've been in Empower Network for 90 days and have had no success. If you can just attend these webinars, and if you could take the information and you can apply it in your business, and if you could take massive action and trust the words that I say and the leaders say and what we teach you, we can help you get the results you want. We originally did this series almost 12 months ago, right after we launched the company. We decided to remake it for a variety of reasons. Reason one, we've gotten a lot better results over the last 12 months, and we've increased the results every single month we've been in business, and we've learned a lot in the last 12 months. We believe that by remaking this product and by recreating it from zero, that we can help you go from zero to wherever you want to be. When we first started in Power, the biggest incomes we had were Dave Sharp and I hitting over $100,000 in a month right off the bat, right in the beginning of Empower Network. Now we've got 4 people earning over $100,000 a month. Last month we had something like 60 people earn over $10,000. The stories are getting ridiculous from all backgrounds, and now we have numbers, we have proof, we have a formula that can help you get the results that you want, regardless of the time commitment you've got, regardless of your background, regardless of whether you've had success in the past or you haven't had success in the past. None of it matters. I want you to delete it from your mind. I want you to start from zero. So today, what are we going to cover in the training? First thing that we're going to cover is the purpose of this training. I'm going to talk about setting an outcome and being very clear on your goals. I'm going to talk about how to avoid burnout, how to never get depressed in your business, how to always keep on a positive note. I'm going to talk about the formula for creating wealth, and then I'm going to go through a structured plan of what you guys are going to do with us over the next 90 days. Now, there's one thing that I want to just kind of emphasize here for a minute, and I want to emphasize the importance of taking action before you know entirely what you're doing. I want to emphasize the importance, guys, of taking action before you know what you're doing. See, a lot of people, they're going to come to these trainings, and sometimes people, they look at our average earnings and they say, okay, if Empower Network's so great, how come everybody's not making money? Well, the fact is, everybody who's doing the right activities is making money. The reason not everybody's making money is because not everybody's taking action, and of the people that are taking action, not everybody's taking the right action. See, guys, results comes from taking action in a specific direction and taking the right actions. Now, here's the problem that a lot of people encounter. They hear something like that and they say, okay, before I take action, before I decide that I'm going to get started, before I decide that I'm going to go out there and do whatever it takes, I want to know the perfect formula. Okay, this is the 15,000 per month formula. All right, Dave, before I take action, I'm going to go through the entire training. I'm going to go through every webinar. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to take 10,000 pages of notes. I'm going to read every study guide 3 times and make the perfect action plan. And then 3 months from now and maybe 6 months right after I've finished studied and watched every video in the entire company and listen to every audio in the entire company, I'm going to write my first blog post. Folks, and if that's your attitude, you're not going to have the success that you want. Here's the magic, and here's what the difference is between people who get the results that they want and people who do not get the results they want. You guys really want to know the difference? Look, I want to talk to you guys just for a second about how to get results. I want to talk to you about how to get results, not just here, but in everything that you ever do for the rest of your life. I want to talk to you about how to create results and how to create magical results. You ready? You guys ready? If you're ready, type yes in the questions over on the right. How to create magical results. Somebody asked if this is going to be a recording. Yes, yes, this is going to be recorded. Okay, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to create magical results in your business. You ready? Okay. About 6 months after I'd gotten started in business, I got on the phone with the guy a lot of you guys know. A lot of you guys know Jonathan Budd, right? He's a big marketer in the generic network marketing space, and he's a friend of mine. He's been a friend of mine for about 3 years, about since I got online. Well, when I first got online, I wanted to get hold of Jonathan Budd. I saw his ads everywhere. I saw his videos everywhere. And I went to his website, and I tried to get a hold of the guy. And no matter how I tried to get a hold of him, I couldn't reach him. I don't know if you guys have ever had that experience before where you try to get a hold of a leader, you're trying to get him on the phone, you think if I could get a leader on the phone with me, I'm going to get the results that I want. Well, I tried to get a hold of Jonathan because I saw he was all big on Google at the time, had his ads on every single page, on every keyword in Google. I don't know if you guys remember that. He had this video where he said, "Hello, my name is Jonathan Budd," and he introduced himself for every network marketing company that existed in the industry. And I went to his site, and I called the number on his site, and it went to a voicemail that was full. I tried calling his assistant, and his assistant's voicemail was full, and I couldn't get a hold of Jonathan Budd. Finally, 6 months later, I had a friend of mine, John Chapman. He actually might be on this webinar tonight if he didn't get kicked off. We are full. I had a friend of mine give me his personal cell phone number. I called him on his cell phone. And I said, "Hey, is this Jonathan Budd?" He said, "Yeah, who's this?" I said, "It's Dave Wood." He said, "Oh, yeah, you're the guy in the videos. I've seen you online." See, he had recognized me from popping up all over the place online, and we had a conversation that was really interesting. And he told me on the conversation something that I thought was profound, and I told something to him that he thought was profound, and what I told him I believe is the key for every single person on this webinar, regardless of whether you know what you're doing or not. I believe that what I told him is the key that's going to help you create magical results for the rest of your life if you choose to take action on what I'm about to say. See, when I got online, I did something that was a little bit different from most people. See, when I got online, I didn't look all over the internet for the perfect formula. I didn't download 100 ebooks. I didn't go through every video course. In fact, I didn't have a lot of money, so I couldn't buy every video course. What I started doing was first I took out a notebook. In fact, I've got a notebook out in front of me right now. And in the notebook, I asked in big black letters, I said, what do I really want? See, I'd been in network marketing several times in the past, and I'd done hotel meetings, and I'd passed out DVDs around town. But I'd never asked the question, what do you really want? Is it just money? Is it just time? Do you want to be on the phone all day like a telemarketer? Do you want to take three-way calls from 5 in the morning till 2 in the morning? Do I just want to be rich? Do I just want to have cash depositing in my account daily? Or do I want something a bit different? And I defined what I want in really clear terms. I set an outcome that was perfectly clear. The outcome that I set was really interesting. The outcome that I set was in 90 days or less, I'm going to be making $30,000 a month or more, $30,000 a month or more, 90 days or less, And I'm going to be doing it without any three-way calls, without any home meetings, without any hotel meetings. And I'm going to be doing it in 2 to 4 hours a day in 90 days or less. And it was actually a little bit more clear than that. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And I set that outcome and I stared at it for a second. And then I did something magical that I'm going to talk about in a minute. See, the difference between success and failure, a lot of people think it's mysterious, but the reality is the people who are successful, they're so clear that they could describe what they want to somebody who's 5 or 6 years old. And the 5 or 6 year old will get it the first time they describe it, and they'll be able to see the picture in their mind even if they don't even understand the business model. The difference between success and failure is clarity. I set a clear vision of what I wanted to accomplish. Now here's the next key that I did. You know, when we launched this company in Power Network, we did the same thing. It's really interesting. We started this company with a dream to do something that didn't exist. We wanted to invent a comp plan that didn't exist. A lot of people, they look at me, I have Power Network comp plan, they say, Dave, where'd you model this comp plan after? And the truth is, it came from my brain. There's not a comp plan that exists in network marketing like the Empower Network comp plan. It's kind of a convoluted combination of about 15 different comp plans that I've seen over the years, and I kind of have a knack for understanding comp plans. The Empower Network comp plan is different, and I found the more I meet people in Empower Network and the more people I get to connect with at events, the more people's hands I get to shake, and the more I get a look in people's eyes, and the more I get emails of people who are surprised about how much they got in some sort of random commission, the more I'm convinced that there might be 3 or 4 people in Empower Network that really understand how our comp plan works. And I think nobody else does but Dave Sharp and myself. And we're the ones who invented it. So we had this idea for a comp plan that didn't exist. We had this idea for a product system that didn't exist. We had this idea for a whole website system that didn't exist. If you guys go to the front of the site and you look at the videos in the front of the site, those videos, a lot of the videos on the login page, the original videos in the Fast Start training, we filmed the sales video, we filmed all the videos on the site before there was a website. And if you guys look at those videos, those original videos, the way we speak in those videos, we speak as if the Empower Network already exists. We speak as if people are already earning $10,000 a month. We speak as if it's already a massive deal. And this is before we had a website that worked. This is before we had a SSL certificate. This is before we had a merchant account. This is before we had a corporation. We filmed those videos before the concept was even applicable. In fact, we did something really interesting. We were having a hard time figuring out how to put this website together. So we set a date on when we're going to launch the company. We said we're going to launch the company at this particular event. We're going to launch it here. Nothing worked. We didn't have a programmer. We didn't know how to put it together. We didn't have any sort of strategy that would make it make sense on how it's going to work. But we started a conference call. We started a launch process. We started telling people, you got to be at this event because we're going to get you together. We're going to show you the formula on how to create $15,000 a month in 90 days or less. And a whole bunch of people showed up in this little hotel room. We told them the vision. Everyone got all in. They bought all the products the first try. But there was a problem. The website, it didn't exactly work. See, what I want you guys to do is I want you to have a clear outcome, even if the method for accomplishing the outcome is not entirely clear. I want you to take massive action on the words that I say even before you entirely understand them. I want you guys to focus on your vision and start running towards it, even if there's not a clear path yet. Because just like NASA, when a rocket is headed to the moon, it's off course 99% of the time. And just like a dog doesn't bark at a parked car, we cannot steer your energy if you're not exerting massive action in your business. So what happened in these various situations? Well, first of all, let's talk about Empower Network. We set an outcome. We set a clear vision. Before Empower Network existed, we filmed all the videos before it existed. We had a launch plan. We had about $100,000 in orders sitting on a table, and our website didn't work. Here's the magic that happened, and I want you guys to think about this for a second. Think about in your life a time when magic has happened. This is what happened to us. We were sitting there in a hotel room with a pile of orders. We couldn't process the orders because the site didn't work. So what we told people was, we said, we're pushing back the launch to Halloween Day. On October 31st, we're going to launch, and the next week, You're not allowed to talk to anybody about it. You can only get people to sign NDAs. We're going to get them on this private webinar, and we're going to do a presentation, and we're going to have people fax in the order forms and put them all through at once. Well, the reality of why we did that is because you couldn't order on the website, and we couldn't process any of the existing orders. So what we did is we had people just like crazy saying, you got to send us this NDA, send this NDA in, we're going to send you a webinar link. We had people from all over the world faxing NDAs into an e-fax number. We were downloading them, and we had an employee manually giving them a link to attend a private live stream. We got 250 NDAs, and then 250 people showed up on a live stream the next Thursday. 250 out of 250 faxed in an order form, and when we started this company on October 31st, we had about $250,000 in orders in a big stack of paper that we'd printed off that had been faxed in to an e-fax that we'd set up. 3 days before we launched, here's what happened. The website didn't work. We were panicking. The one programmer that we had quit, and we're saying, how are we going to make this work? And I started looking through the source code on our website, and I found the name of a random guy, and in the last second I gave him a call. Got on the phone and I told him what we wanted to do, and he said, no problem, I could set that up for you in about 3 hours. In 3 hours he did what we couldn't do in 6 months, and we were able to launch on time October 31st. First month we did over $1 million in commissions. Why did that happen? It happened because we took massive action. We decided to take massive action before we knew how to get it done. We decided to act on our vision. We decided to act on our outcome before we knew how to do it. Before we knew how to do it. So when I got started online, I did the same thing. I did the same thing. What did I do? I set a clear goal. Remember? I was going to get $30,000 a month no matter what. I was going to make $30,000 a month no matter what it took. And I started working. What did I do? I don't even remember, to be honest with you, because I'd wake up and I'd start working, I'd work till I went to bed, and I'd wake up and start working, and I'd work till I went to bed. A month later I looked back and I'd made a total of about $15. $15 of 18 hours a day of work for my first month. See, sometimes people get in Power Network and they say, Dave, I've been in for 4.5 minutes, I've written a blog post that's 3 lines, and I ain't rich yet. What's the problem? Well, the problem is you're even asking that question. See, when I worked 18 hours a day for a month straight and earned a commission of $15. See, I wasn't earning 100% commissions like you guys were. I was earning weenie little commissions when I got started in my business. But the point is, I got started before I knew how to get the results that I want. Well, my first month, what I do? A bunch of stupid activities. Honestly, it's why I only made $15. Next month, I started to figure it out. I made like $3,000 or something around there, right? The next month, I started making $300 a day, but I wasn't on track to hit $30,000 in a month. I wasn't on track to hit $30,000 a month. Now, keep in mind, I was doing this with $100 commissions here and there. I was doing it with $5 commissions, $2 commissions, $15 commissions, $20 commissions that wouldn't come in for another month. I wasn't having the ability to create instant wealth like you guys have in Empower Network through the formula that I'm going to show you today. I had to do things that don't even make sense if you think about it. What happened? Here's what happened. What happened is about 3 weeks into the 3rd month, I was sitting there and I was looking at my goal, and I was saying, here's my goal, hasn't happened yet. I got a phone call from a guy who said, Dave, I want you to teach what you're doing to a big group of people. And I said, I'd be willing to do that if I could sell something. He said, as a matter of fact, you can. And I popped on this webinar with about 1,000 people, and I did a presentation. And on that presentation, I did a call to action. I told people to take massive action. And the next 2 hours, I made $12,000. That week, I made $25,000. That month, I exceeded my goal. I hit $35,000. So what did I tell Jonathan Budd that day? Well, we had an interesting conversation. And here's what we talked about. I said, Jonathan, you know the difference between success and failure? And of course he does, because he has success. And I said, failures, Jonathan, they want to figure everything out, and they don't want to take action. They don't want to act now. They don't want to get their knees bloody. They don't want to go out there and make it happen until they know the perfect solution. And I said, successful people, they have a vision and a goal, and they act before they know how to do it, and in the process of action they correct their mistakes, and that's how they figure out what to do.